If you're a busy mom and you want 2026 to look different than 2025, then you have to do something different. Today, I'm going to be giving you 6 not so typical tips on how we are going to actually conquer 2026 and have it be different than 2025, 2024, 2023, and so on. Let's get into things. If you are new here, hi, my name is Nicole. I am a certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and a mama to many, but this is not about me, it's about you, so let's jump right into it. Tip number 1 is going to be planning. If it is one thing that I've learned as a mom is that if you can prepare for the worst, you will likely be in a better position. You also want to be getting rid of any extra friction points that stop you from getting to the goal that you want to achieve. For example, if you have a goal to wake up in the morning and your clothes are not laid out, aka where you planned that, the likelihood of you just getting up tired and groggy and saying screw it are much higher than if your clothes are right in front of you when you wake up. The same thing goes with prepping food or writing out a to-do list. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I wake up, if I'm not prepared for the day the night before, or I wake up and I have no idea what I'm doing, what day it is, and all I can focus on is my screaming kids, I am so much less likely to continue with a productive day, eat a good breakfast, get my body moving, because I'm waking up on defense. Preparation is key here. My second one is going to be setting realistic expectations. And by realistic expectations as a mom, I mean low expectations. You may be thinking, why would I be setting low expectations for myself? Shouldn't I be setting them higher? Am I doing myself a disservice? Here's the thing. Most of the time, you don't lack the discipline to do something because you have discipline as a mom every day. You keep the house clean. You probably stock the fridge. You watch the kids. All of those things are easily top of mind to get done and you do them. So there's no lack of discipline. Trying to switch it. However, you may find yourself doing an all or nothing. Change everything at once, eat 100% healthy, do 5 workouts a week, not keep any sugar in the house. And this often leads to just burnout, frustration, and not being able to keep up with it because it's not realistic. So I want you to think, what are your bare minimum habits? I'm not saying that this is what it's going to look like every day, but what I am saying is if your baby is teething unexpectedly or your toddler gets sick because, hello, it's about to be January and we will be in that season, what is your bare minimum that you can do with that? Can you still hit your step goal? Can you still start off the day with water? Can you put out and take your supplements for the night before? And if I'm being honest, those bare minimum things is what carries you to those big goals. 5 workouts a week is likely not the most realistic thing, at least for most of the moms that I work with. What is that realistic number? And stick with it. You can always add on later, but you don't want to start with too much and then give up and then start with nothing again. And speaking of your workouts with number 3, you want to have actual structure within your workouts. You don't want to be going into your workouts unprepared or finding something random and just winging it in the gym or at home, because I have been there too, where I show up unprepared and then I get there lost and not motivated and I don't do anything at all. Or maybe I do something random and don't really feel the most achieved or accomplished. You want to have real structure within your workouts. This is something that I personally do with my clients. They have a complete layout of their workout, how many sets, what exercises they're doing, how many reps of that, guided notes on those. Don't go searching for something random on Instagram or TikTok. If you don't personally have someone that can help with that, or you just don't really know where to start, some of my best advice that I'm going to give you is stop trying to overcomplicate it and stick with the basic movements. This could be things like a bench press, an RDL, squats, split squats, leg press, abduction, leg curl, shoulder press, lateral raise. I digress. But those same workouts done over and over are going to be more effective than something random done inconsistently. And I do hate to tell you this, but the boring stuff is what works. On this same note with structure, it also helps if you have someone that's holding you accountable. Again, this is where I think a coach is really valuable and where most of my clients get a lot of benefit from. So again, if you don't have a coach or you don't have someone like that to check in with, tell your husband, tell a good friend, start a group chat, find a community on Facebook, just something that's supportive and will hold you accountable. Number 4 is find a shorter shorter-term goal. You could almost think of this as a little reward. So for instance, your long-term goal may be to lose 20 pounds or lose the baby weight or run a marathon at the end of 2026, which is all great, but those are long-term goals that may not come to fruition right away. So we need to find mini goals that are involved with that journey of the big goal to help keep you motivated and have something to look forward to. For instance, this could mean instead of your breakfast being full of sugar and just carbs, switching that with something that's high protein, high fiber, and more balanced, because your reward will be not crashing at 2 p.m. and needing a fourth coffee, or having more energy for your kids when you're done with work, having better digestion if you hit your step count. Think of what consequences come with the actions that you don't want to be completing, and then tie that to a mini reward. Number 5 is going to be set your environment up for success. You guys, I really hate to say this, but I have not been the best at cleaning up my kitchen at the end of the night every night this week and the past couple weeks with the holidays, and it shows in the way I wake up. I'm not super motivated to make myself a good breakfast. I don't really want to start off doing something productive, and it may seem like such a small thing because it's just my kitchen at the end of the day, but it's your environment that sets the tone for your actions. If you know that you don't drink enough water, set yourself up to accomplish that goal. Put a glass of water on top of your nightstand, fill your water jug at the end of the night, get something cute to put your water in, set that environment. Another example is if you want to wake up in the morning to work out, lay your clothes out at the end of the night, maybe set a banana out on the counter if you want to eat something small, put your gym bag together, make sure everything is packed, and set your environment up right. A messy space is a messy mind, and it will do nothing for your goals. And especially for my moms, I know how hectic a house can get. Don't pressure yourself to make it tidy and clean all day, but do mini pickups throughout the day, or just one pickup at the end of the night if that's all you have time for. So you wake up with a clean environment. You'll feel so much better waking up with some peace rather than the mess. And my last tip is going to be microdose your momentum. Listen, as a mom, things are bound to go wrong. Things literally always go wrong. Kids are always sick, as I mentioned. Then what happens when kids get sick? You get sick. Then your husband has to work, or you have to work and watch the kids. And where does your self-care fall within that, right? How the heck am I supposed to balance all of that when everything is always feeling like the odds are stacked against me? And truly, I understand what that feels like. I just went through this last month. I was back to back sick. I had pink eye, then I had a cold, then I hurt my back, then my kids were sick, then my husband twisted his ankle. It felt like it was just non-stop. This is why it's important to track your progress and have small wins when things aren't perfect, because most of the time, 90% of the time, they will not be. Microdosing your momentum could be when you feel accomplished for doing something and it pushes you to do it again, or pushes you to continue a healthy habit. So microdosing your momentum could be finding 3 little small things to keep you going that makes you feel, or is you accomplishing something throughout the day. Again, we're being simple and setting the bar lower here, because this is the small stuff that adds up and pushes you through those days where things just are sabotaged. So for instance, it could just be stretching when you wake up, or walking your kids to school instead of driving them. It could be having a fistful of protein in your breakfast, finishing a water bottle before you eat, getting 20 minutes at home of your workout done instead of the normal 45 you would do at the gym if your kids are sick. You get the point. Pretty much we want to find those small wins within a day that keep that momentum going, because a lot of the times what I see is when we're not perfect, we just let everything else go off the rails, say screw it, and then all of the bad habits kind of come in at once. So we're trying to combat that with adding those smaller good habits into the day. But those are going to be my quick 6 tips to help 2026 finally be the year that something changes or is different. Trust me, I know how difficult it can be as a mom. I truly do have a soft spot for my mom clients. Our 24 hours is just not the same as everyone else's. is. It is filled with different things, different responsibilities, but it is possible. And all I'm trying to do is encourage you to put yourself first, because there is so much better that comes out of that afterwards. But if you are looking for more guidance, I will go ahead and link my coaching application in the description box. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of the mom, fitness, wellness, food, life, crazy chaos that is motherhood content, feel free to subscribe. But I will see you next year. Bye.